What's good, everyone? Welcome to another episode of ZED Challila, and of course we are on our Rising Talent of the Week segment. Now, who do we have today? Well, I don't want to talk much about them, but let's check out the performance they're giving us, and when we come back, we'll chat more on the other side. Big ups.
It's magician pan beat, Tawanga pan hit. See the girl them booger, pull up to the scene and her body like sugar. Yeah. See the girl bad pass my way, you with a gunshots, bad man blast away. I need ya, loving you, give me that vibe when you're romancing. I need ya, loving you, give me that vibe when you're romancing. Yeah, 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 yeah. Give me that vibe when you're romancing. Yeah, 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 yeah. Give me that vibe when you're romancing. Yeah, 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 yeah. Give me that vibe when you're romancing. Yeah, 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 yeah. Give me that vibe when you're romancing. Lights up the split, this no be high talk. This one be a mad thing that I rock. See me pull up with me blood clot. So if a bad man try, they go back shot. Bad girl say they whine for me, so comforting. The girl with the accent. Girl, no be whine if your back straight. And if the girl want get it, they get access. See the girl them booger, pull up to the scene and her body like sugar. Yeah. See the girl bad pass my way, you with a gunshots, bad man blast away. I need ya, loving you, give me that vibe when you're romancing. I need ya, loving you, give me that vibe when you're romancing. Yeah, 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 yeah. Give me that vibe when you're romancing. Yeah, 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 yeah. Give me that vibe when you're romancing. Yeah, 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 yeah. Give me that vibe when you're romancing. Yeah, 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 yeah. Give me that vibe when you're romancing. Tell the DJ turn it up now. No holding back, we heading to the top now. You can see the blessings on me head, they double. Say the right things, you don't want trouble. When we pull up, don't be regular. See the bad girl blowing up me cellular. So hold on, girl, let me tell you something. If you think that I'm chasing, then you run a long thing, girl. It's an international flex when we romance, girl. It's an international flex when we romance. See the girl them booger, pull up to the scene and her body like sugar. Yeah. See the girl bad pass my way, you with a gunshots, bad man blast away. I need ya, loving you, give me that vibe when you're romancing. I need ya, loving you, give me that vibe when you're romancing. It's an international flex, yeah.
What's good, everyone? Welcome back to ZED Challila, and now I'm joined with the amazing, but I won't tell him, I won't say his name or ask him to say his name because it's kind of like weird for me to say right now. Bro.
My name's Tawanga ZM.
I find it really funny because I'm also Tawanga, but anyways, welcome to the show, brother, man.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, you did an amazing song over there. What's the title of the song that you did?
The title of the song is called Romancing.
Romancing, yeah?
Yeah.
And is it like a new release or something?
Yeah, it's a new release. It's actually unreleased. I've not yet dropped it on any digital platform, so it's here first on ZED Challila.
Bless, bro. Bless, bro. So now I'm excited to have this conversation because I feel like in as much as you're on the Rising Talent of the Week segment, you've been doing music for quite a long time now.
Yes,
yeah?
I have.
Like I remember the first time I heard your music, was it like in 2016, 2015, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah.
So like, how has been the journey for you? Like,
the journey has been up and down, you know, and there have been ups and downs, but we've been pushing, you know. Here and there you have some bumps on the road. And you find like most of the things in life, when you're actually inside is when you actually know, like, okay, these are the good and the bad in the industry.
So like let's take you back from the time you decided to say, let me try this thing, music and all that, and the journey, how the journey has been going. Do you think like you still have the same mentality where you had when, because I'm sure when you were starting, you're like, okay, if I do this, maybe things might turn out to be this way. Is it the same drive that you have now, or now you've just thought like, okay, whether it works out, it doesn't work out?
I'll say one thing, like passion without knowledge is very bad.
Okay.
Because you will be doing things because you love them, but you will never have the knowledge on how to get the best out of it.
Okay.
So when we started out, we made a few mistakes, as everyone does.
Yeah.
Our biggest mistake as upcoming artists when we were starting out was we didn't invest in equipment, studio equipment.
Yeah.
Because I think if we had invested by then in studio equipment and other things, would have cut off recording costs from producers. Would have actually only been paying producers for their services, not paying producers to use their skill and their equipment and all these other things. So that's just a tip for anyone who's coming after us. Invest in studio equipment. You will never regret it.
But you know, what I find amazing is that for someone that has come such a long journey, most of them you would expect them to like reach break point and say, okay, let me try to do something else. But what keeps on, like you always do music, even though you don't put it out, but I feel like behind the scenes the passion is there and you're doing music. What keeps you on the road?
I feel like if you're just called for something, you will never stop doing it, because there's no money, you always find money in it. So I've been doing music because I've had a passion. I have a passion for it, and the passion just kept on growing. The more knowledge I had about the industry and how things work, I wanted even more. I wanted to know more and wanted to tap into different industries.
So you've worked with quite a number of, you know, well-established artists. Talking about the likes of maybe Kaladoshas and many big names out there. And one would think as though, okay, if someone has got these connections, then maybe blowing up might not be such a, you know, big deal. But like, you know, what do you think is a big challenge for you right now when it comes to having an interaction with these artists, you know?
I feel like it's a matter of passing on the torch.
Okay.
You know, not just in Zambia, but in general in Africa, our biggest problem is greed.
Okay.
You don't want to help someone because if you help them, you fear they'll step on you. They'll become bigger than you. But that's supposed to be something prideful for you when you help someone and they become bigger. It means you've done your job. You've set the foundation for them to come and do something even bigger, build something bigger. So here we have that mentality where if I help this one, this guy's talented, but I'm not going to help him.
Oh yeah. So is it like amongst artists, upcoming artists, or the bridge that's there between upcoming artists and the well-established artists?
It's monkey see, monkey do.
Okay. I don't even understand what that means.
Monkey see, monkey do means basically what the upcoming artists see the big artists do is what the upcoming artists become also. When they reach that point, they also say, you know what, I'm not going to help anyone. No one helped me. So they're going to reach that point and they're going to hold it. They're going to try to stay at the top. I feel that's what also we need to understand in the industry. You can't stay at the top forever. You have to, you have to help people.
Amazing. So, but one would not, you know, I watched one interview for Mark 2, and then actually he said something like, it's easier to help someone who's helping themselves than someone who just expects to be helped. So if we were to speak like from a well-established point of view, like the defense they'll probably have is that what is an upcoming artist doing to help himself before I can help an upcoming artist? Do you think that's the case? Like, or maybe it's just the natural state of most of these people?
I feel like established artists have been tasked with the mantle to build the foundation. I'm not supposed to come to you to ask for help. You're supposed to build the foundation so I step on it. That's your job, who's ahead of me. Now, if you don't do that, is when I'm now going to start bothering you for help. Because there's nothing to step on. I expect you to drop something for me to step on. So you'd find maybe stories, you know, we've got these big upcoming stories, you know, with the Whiz Kids, all these, where Banky W sees talent in the kid. He has no platform whatsoever. Wizkid used to go to Banky W's studio every time, never had no money to pay for studio sessions until Banky actually recognized the kid and says, you know what, this kid has talent.
Yeah.
Let me try him out. That's the kind of mentality we need in Zambia. Someone who has an eye for talent. You don't just see it and say, okay, he's not helping himself. No, you see it and mentor it.
You
and
have like a vision for yeah, okay.
No one knew Wizkid was ever going to be that big. Even Banky W himself, I doubt ever knew, just by helping the boy. But now he's the biggest star in Africa.
Yeah. So I think that's a very valid point. And then like, even the likes of Fireboy, DML.
Those are Olamide helps him.
Yeah. So I think that's a very valid point. But I don't know. I feel like if we were to like maybe bring the likes of the way J Cash can say, okay, I helped this more, and then Mark II, I think there are a lot of people that Mark II has helped. We're talking about the XYZ camp. Which one, if you were to like advise like a fellow artist, because I know like even you at this point, maybe it's something that you're still struggling with to break through that barrier, but which one do you think is much favorable for you? Like if you were just to sit back and say, okay, I think this one gives me the right direction.
I've hardly met. I'm in the industry, so I've been in the industry, so I don't want to put anyone on blast by starting to mention names. I've interacted with most of them, and I feel like if the problem was amongst maybe 2 or 3, it would have been easy to build the industry. But the fact that it's amongst a lot of them, it's so hard to build the industry when you don't have mentorship. Like me when I was starting out, if someone came to me and told me, okay, this is how you do things, this is how you do things, I found out a lot about what I know music, how I perform music, and how I write my music from international people. I had just a few interactions with them on socials and the likes, and they told me, no, you do this, we do this. I've also had some mentorship from King James, James Sakala.
Oh yeah, amazing.
Yeah, James Sakala. I was signed to So Good some years back, and by then James Sakala was still in So Good, and he taught me a few things about vocal exercises. He taught me they taught me just how to package the whole music thing. So most of the stuff I know, I learned from being under So Good. Okay.
So in other words, like that those that are willing to help, but the number of those that are just holding on is just too much.
It outweighs the good anyone is willing to do.
Because people would say, no, as artists, they're building the bridge for upcoming artists to work on. At the same time, upcoming artists are complaining because I feel like you're not the first one that has said this. We had quite a number of them on the show, and I feel like maybe, do you think, because if you like Roberto, I remember Roberto said something on his Facebook page. He said to an upcoming artist in Zambia, to the likes of Roberto, they look as though they're big artists, and then with Roberto to the likes of international artists like Drake and all that, they look as though they're upcoming artists to them. So maybe there's that need for them to like reach that market, and they're also focusing to improve their music so they get the likes. Do you think that's what's affecting? Because the more they're focusing, for example, to say, oh, my previous project had 1 million views, let me try to build to 10 million views and all that. Do you think that's what's causing that barrier behind?
I think it's also a matter of awareness. You need to know your limit. You need to know, like, this is my portion in life. It's not saying that you're settling for mediocrity. No, you just need to know, I've done more than enough. I think the international scene, it's not for me to breach. I need to bring up the one who's going to breach the international scene. I've laid the foundation. Let me continue doing what I'm doing, improve on it, but let me bring the one who's going to penetrate. That's what Banky did. He basically conquered the local scene in Nigeria. Banky W studied in the US. I can't remember what he studied, but it was something to do with filming and stuff. But he still came back to Nigeria, conquered the Nigerian industry. He was a very big artist. But he saw even him, he was not the one to penetrate the music, the international scene. So he had to bring a young man who was the one to do it.
Okay, amazing. So now let's talk about you. Do you think, like, as Taonga there, do you have what it takes today if you had the support, let's say the financial backup, the studio time, the sound engineers, the best videographers, and they put out a project for you? Do you believe you have what it takes to put Zambia on the map?
Most definitely, because I feel I've been cooked for a very long time. You know, you've been in the pot for too long. You've been always being, you're getting a few knowledge, bits of knowledge here and there, how to do this better. You see big artists perform and you see, oh, this is what I need to do in order to hype the crowd. This is what I need to make good music. And I've been blessed to meet a lot of producers. I met Kekero before. Before Kekero became famous, I knew him. And we worked a lot, and he taught me a lot on how to write songs. He used to tell me, finish the song in 30 minutes. I wouldn't write verse 2 in the song, and Kekero would come and say, you better finish the song in 30 minutes. And that's how I became good in songwriting as well, because I knew I was saying, okay, Kekero he's very busy, he's working with multiple artists, so I need to make sure I pen it down. I've worked with a lot.
So, all right.
Even Magician, who produced the song I'm just from performing.
Oh, shout out to Magician.
Yeah, baddest producer in Zambia.
Yeah. I had a chance to meet him. Very cool guy. But here's my question, right? Basically, the main essence of ZED Challila right now, we believe as a team to say we might not get the help from, well-established artists, channels there. But what we believe in is that we have the resources to build ourselves up from scratch. And that's like our philosophy. So if I were to ask you to say, today, like you have a group of 10, 20 upcoming artists, what do you think upcoming artists can do amongst themselves to build a platform that can help push their music, even without the help of because we've seen it before. We've seen where artists just come from nowhere, then boom, they do that. If I were to give examples like Zone Fam. Zone Fam, they did the J-Rocks used to produce most of their songs, Young Verbo used to produce their songs, and then finally they became a big name in the country for quite some time before, everything went south. But what do you believe upcoming artists can do amongst themselves to help build?
Break the sectors, the two small groups you have. Okay. There are those people who say that they're confined in their small groups and going to say, okay, I'm going to work with 6 and 7 individuals and that's all. Anyone else I'm not going to let in the group. Okay. And you would think that's a benefit for you. It will have some benefits, but at the end of the day to hinder you, because if you stop me from interacting with you or having any exchange of talent with you, you won't benefit from what I can offer, and I will not benefit from what you can offer. So at the end of the day, we both lose. So you find this is the same also with big artists. They learn from the big artists. Big artists have their small groups. It's reasonable that you should have those small groups because you don't know who really likes you and who. But at the end, you also need to have the know-how to let certain people in. To help them. You can't always be in a shell your whole life and say, I'm going to have 7 people in my group.
Find in this group you have got a dope producer, in this group you have got a great vocalist, in this group you have got, and then the more you interact, the more you can grow.
Yeah, so combine your resources. If the big artists are giving you hell not to help you, because most of them will be like, I've been given this compliment so many times. You're talented. Thank you. Talented. Thank you. That's it. It ends on that. You don't help people like that. You don't help people by give them knowledge. If you can't give them knowledge, help them financially. Tell them, oh, you've got most of these big artists have studio time. Bring the kid to the studio. It won't kill you to at least see what he can do on a beat. So at the end, everything they do is supposed to benefit the upcoming artist. You can't constantly have small groups until the end of your career. And I feel that's what stunted the growth of a lot of musicians in our country. Because I've been in the industry for, let's say, maybe even 10 years or more. I've never dropped a professional project to say, put it out there, but I've had enough songs on radio. I've opened up for AK and Dallas, Malik Berry, and some other big international artists. There's so much that we can tackle when it comes to the reason why the Zambian music industry is where it's at today. So at the end of the day, we are not going to play the blame game, but we're looking at it as it is, so we can understand where we have to take it from here.
Yeah, that's amazing. Bro, it's I would have loved for this conversation to go on, because not only are you giving us views from the point of an upcomer, but also from someone that has experienced it. And I feel like a lot of upcoming artists out there will learn a word or two from you. So I don't know if you've got last words that you'd love to tell the people out there before I let you go.
The last words is just for any upcoming artist, money management. It's don't work hard, work smart.
Okay.
Yeah, work smart. No, don't produce 20, 50 songs. Concentrate on one song, perfect it until it's done. Then package your product properly. No one will ever take you seriously if you don't package yourself properly. So present yourselves well.
Amazing,
Yeah.
amazing. So what platforms can people follow you on?
Okay, I'm Taonga ZM on everything. Taonga ZM on everything.
Like the name is written down below. All right, bro. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me. Shout out to ZED Challila. You guys are doing amazing things here. This is what we needed.
Yeah, amazing, bro.
Amazing.
Appreciate that.
All right.
Alright guys, I was joined with Taonga ZM and I loved every bit of the conversation we had today. And please guys, if you haven't subscribed to this YouTube channel, kindly click the subscribe button and the notification bell so that whenever we drop new content, you will be the first to be notified. Otherwise, from me, Taonga Major and Taonga ZM, it has been ZED Challila all the way. Boom.